Like it sounds like it's to die for, okay? And I feel really, really good about this. I do also have 2 bookish updates. It makes it creepier. I know it's not spooky, but it is cute, okay? Let me just tell you, I hate it. Wouldn't it be amazing if I could read all of these? Interesting. I would use the word fun, but I'm trying really hard to not lie.
All right, last one. Awesome.
Hello. Are you ready to get scared? Hi friends, my name is Lexi and welcome back to my channel. Today, I am going to be attempting to do Summerween in 48 hours. Now this year, the week that Summerween landed was like such a busy week, both in my like personal life and also in my professional life. I did not have time to do it and I felt so bad about it. But I do Summerween every single year because I love Halloween. I also really enjoy summertime, but I am like the biggest fall fan ever. And I think this is maybe my favorite readathon ever because it's basically just encouraging you to read spooky books in the summertime. And like that is always a good idea. So I really wanted to attempt to do this and to do a little bit of like an extra challenge. I want to see how many spooky scary books that I can read in 48 hours. I did see a video that kind of inspired this and it's by Allie from Alice in Pages. I love Allie's channel so much. I will link her down below. She did such a great job. She does 24-hour-a-thons. So she did this in 24 hours, but her 24-hour-a-thons are the ones where like you use a timer. Mine is just whatever I can do in 2 days. We'll see how successful I am, but I really want to see if I can honestly get through my entire TBR in 48 hours as like a personal challenge to myself. If you've never heard of Summerween before, this is actually a readathon that has been created by 2 of my favorite people, Olivia Reads a Latte and also Gabby Reads. I will link both of them down below. I love Liv. She is one of my besties. I also love and adore Gabby and her content. I just love this concept so much. Every single year in the summertime, they actually pick like a week or so and they encourage you to read spooky, scary books and just pretend that it's Halloween in the summertime, which I freaking love. So I have so many thrillers and so many spooky stuff that I really wanted to read this summertime that I have a big stack of books here. I remember looking at the prompts and I only remember 2. One of them was, I think, like encouraging either reading an anthology of like short stories or like a manga. So I did pick one book out to try to fulfill this prompt, but the rest of the prompts I really don't remember. So I'm gonna show you my TBR and then we're gonna see how I can make these fit the prompts. So the very first one is Her Body and Other Parties. This is by Carmen Maria Machado. And these are short stories. I think that they're feminist and they're also horror. The next one is the one that I think I kind of want to start with. It's by Kaitlyn and it's called You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. This is a new release. It's YA and it just sounds so fun. This book is about Charity and Charity works at a summer camp as a counselor and the camp that she works at is really cool because it sort of takes a lot of its cues from traditional like 90s thriller thrasher movies. I guess all of the campers basically play as like characters in a classic horror movie and the campers who are at this camp have to try to survive the night. But this year, campers are actually disappearing and Charity thinks that maybe it's not as much of a game as she thought. Next, I have 2 middle grades. I love middle grades, but specifically I love spooky middle grades. So the first one is by Kirsten White and it's called The Wretched Water Park. So this particular book is about 2 siblings and they end up going on a series of different summer adventures, I guess. And every single time they go to a very specific place in the summertime, something creepy or scary is happening. And I don't know the plot of this one other than it takes place at a wretched water park. Next up, I'm going to be attempting to read a middle grade by Lindsay Curry and it is called What Lives in the Woods. And this book is following Ginny. So Ginny and her family end up going to the middle of the woods to try to fix up this gothic, I guess, rundown haunted-esque house in the middle of summertime, right next to a summer camp. And while Ginny is here, she learns about, I guess, a mysterious monster who is lurking and lives in the woods. The more she learns about this monster, the more she is convinced something is watching her. And then finally, the last book that I will be attempting to read in 48 hours is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. This is one of my most anticipated books, or I guess highly anticipated books of the entire year. I love Riley Sager and the premise sounds so good. Like it sounds like it's to die for. Okay. This particular book is following Kit, and Kit is a caretaker, I think at a nursing home. She ends up taking care of an older woman named Lenora, and Lenora sort of has like all of these rumors and rhymes tied to her because back when she was younger, she was the only left survivor at this huge mass murder that happened to her family, and she was found covered in blood. And everyone sort of thinks that she did it, but like they couldn't find enough evidence to prove that it was her, and I think she is mute. It says Lenora was rendered mute by a series of strokes and can only communicate with Kit by tapping out sentences on an old typewriter. But finally, because she feels like she can really trust Kit, she ends up typing out one day, "I want to tell you everything." And so now we finally get to know what happened all of those years ago when her family was murdered. So those are all of the books that I will be attempting to read. Wish me luck. I think I'm going to be starting with You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaitlyn Bayron. And my only real plans for the day and also tomorrow is just to read. I also think today I'm going to be working a little bit more on my porch. This is so random and I know it's not spooky, but I did just buy a lot of flowers and I really want to garden a little bit. So I'll probably be doing that for a portion of Summerween as well. Before we start though, let me actually pull up the prompts and we'll see how we can possibly fit this stack into the prompts. Okay, so prompt number 1 is to read a book in the dark, and I can definitely do that. The next one is to read a thriller. Okay, great. I feel like all of these count. I think all of these are considered thrillers aside from Her Body. I think this is just considered like horror. The next one is to read a book that takes place in the fall. These particular ones all take place in the summertime. I don't know about this one, but I've heard that this takes place in the fall. And maybe there's at least one story in here that takes place in the autumn, fall time-esque. The next one is to read a book with orange or black on the cover. Okay, we have two. We have this one that has more of like peachy color, oranges, and some black, and then this one that has a ton of black. And then finally read a manga, graphic novel, or a novella. Oh shoot, or a novella. Okay, I don't know why I thought it was an anthology. So let me update my TBR then, because this is not a novella or a manga. Okay, I think I will be swapping out Her Body and Other Parties for this one, which I actually just purchased at a used bookstore, and it is Stephen King's The Body. Now, I don't know how horrifying this is, but it is by the king of horror, Stephen King himself. And also it's about 4 friends who discover a dead body, or I think they're trying to find a murdered dead body. This is my new TBR. Same TBR as before, except we swapped out the other one for this one. And I feel really, really good about this. Hopefully I can, wouldn't it be amazing if I could read all of these? What time is it? Okay, this is perfect. So, do you see it? It's 12:54. Let's just say that it's 1 o'clock. So it's Wednesday, 1 p.m. EST, and this is gonna go until Friday, 1 p.m. EST, starting right now. I mean, starting as soon as like I turn off the camera and I start reading, but yes, starting at 1. Okay, I might actually start listening to the audiobook for this one while I work a little bit on repotting some of my stuff. I'm gonna show you what I have because I think it's really cute. I know it's not spooky, but it is cute, okay? So let me show you some of the stuff that I'm going to be doing and planting, and then I will pop in my headphones and we will start listening to You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. Okay, so hello. Again, maybe not the spookiest thing, gardening in the summertime, but listen, I've got to live my best life, okay? And I need some flowers. So let me show you what I got. Okay, I really wanted to spruce up my porch, so I got some of these pothos or pothos. These are golden pothos. They're just gonna be hanging out on my porch, so I think they're gonna be okay out here. And then my mom actually got me these. I don't remember what they're called. They're so beautiful, but they need to be watered and then replanted. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I have to prune these just a little bit and then like plant them in some pots. And then I picked out some of these. I think these are called Fitta flowers, and then these ones are fan flowers, and they can both handle full sun. And then I have petunias in 2 different types of colors, and again, these are totally fine to be in the sun. And then I picked up some hydrangeas that I'm going to plant as well. And then I got these really nice big pots with lots of drainage. So I have 2 of these, and then 1 of these here, which I have to clear out. A lot of my porch though just like needs to be cleaned up. I need to vacuum, I need to like sweep everything. I need to like clean out my cat's catio. So not to be boring, but probably a big portion of my Summerween will be doing all of this outdoorsy stuff as well. I'm actually gonna change out of this shirt and more into like a baggy shirt that I can get sweaty and dirty in because I have lots of soil that I'm gonna have to put and pack and stuff as well. So I'm gonna go do that, and I will see you back here in just a little bit to start You Must Not Die. No, it's not You Must Not Die Tonight, is it? It's the one by Kaitlyn Byron. Okay, great.
Just a dawn away. I keep thinking about that big sky I've seen so many times before, but it's something else today.
Officially finished the porch, and it took such a long time. Like, it took such a long time, you guys, but I feel so happy about it. All of the flowers seem so happy in their little pots. It makes me want to hang out more outside. I actually think maybe I will try reading a little bit on my porch after I eat some dinner and stuff in a second as well. This took forever though. I feel so disgusting. I've been out here for like 4.5 hours. It's like 5:30 or something like that. But I feel, I don't know, just like really happy now that my porch is like totally all set for the rest of summer. So yeah, that is my update as far as like the porch goes. I do also have 2 bookish updates. So let's go inside and I will tell you all about the 2 books. One that I finished, one that I've started. Okay, let's go. Hello. Okay, I fully finished my very first thriller, and I'm so happy to report that I would give this an incredibly solid, I think it's like a 4.5, maybe a 5-star. I don't know. Am I overthinking it? It's either a 4.5 or a 5-star. It was amazing. It was not a 5-star or like a 4.5 until the epilogue. I don't want to spoil the book, but I will say if you are a big fan of thrashers and summer camp vibes, things like that, you will love this. It was so well done. I loved the cast of characters. I loved the plot twists. I loved the final plot twist. Did not see that coming whatsoever. It was so good, and it was such a fast read, and it fully kept my attention the entire time. So I highly, highly recommend this one. I did also start What Lives in the Woods, and this is by Lindsay Curry. I am like loving the vibes of this so much. So Ginny and her brother Leo, they are hanging out with their family for the summertime. Their dad, I guess, like professionally restores things, and I thought it was like a creepy gothic mansion, but really I think it's still a creepy gothic mansion, but technically it's a museum. It's kind of weird because I feel sort of like, from what I'm understanding, because there are bedrooms and stuff, it was a creepy gothic mansion, but right now it's being used as a historic museum. I will say, like, I am really frustrated with the dad. Our main character Ginny was gonna spend the summer in a writing camp or like a writing class, and as a person who wanted to be a writer, like the idea that he's kind of taken that away from her to do this extra project, I think kind of sucks, because the house or the museum that they're staying in is also supposed to be haunted. I sort of just feel like no one is happy at this house. Like the mom is pretending to be happy, but like she doesn't get to do all of the stuff that she wanted to do. The brother doesn't get to do anything that he wanted to do, and Ginny doesn't get to do anything that she wanted to do. All of them are just at this house miserable, and they're all pretending that it's all fine fine and okay, but clearly something is wrong with the house. And it's just like, if I was the dad and I immediately got there after like kind of ruining everyone's summers, and I got like creepy ass vibes with like no cell phone reception, no TV, no Wi-Fi, and like my kids didn't have a lot of like books or extracurricular, like anything like that, I would be like, you know what? Maybe I just take on this project myself. Maybe I just like restore it. And maybe you guys have like the world's best summer ever, and I'll see you in a month. Like, no one's happy here. That's that so far, but maybe he'll grow on me. I don't know. Ginny also has just made a little friend named Will, who I think is like an apprentice in this bookshop, and they have the love of books in common, and they're becoming kind of fast friends. Although maybe there's something else there. I don't really know. Ginny is 13, and it's great because he kind of knows some of the history of her house. That's another thing, is apparently there's a lot of history and like legends and lore about this house being haunted, and the dad didn't tell them that either. Don't you feel like maybe they should know that? I don't know. Also, I have a feeling that Ginny's room is gonna play into the legends, because as soon as she picked her bedroom, her dad was like, this is the room. It's almost like he knows something, but he doesn't want to freak out his kid. And I'm like, no, tell her. Like, if it's a bad room, tell her to pick a different room. There's like 26 bedrooms. So I guess we'll see. It's really, really great so far though. Like, the vibes, super creepy, super atmospheric, great for summer. Like, this is the perfect summer read. Also, I feel disgusting. Working outside, great summer activity, but like great for vlogging, maybe not. That's my update. I'm gonna go make some dinner though. I am so hungry. I'll see you in a second. Okay, hello, a little bit of an update. My dinner was delicious. And now, I wanna say it's like 7. It's 7:10, and I'm still listening to and reading What Lives in the Woods by Lindsay Curry. But I thought I would have dessert, so let me show you what dessert is. So look at how happy she is. Okay, so I have here pound cake and some heated up strawberries, and then a very generous portion of some whipped cream. And then obviously I still have lemonade, and then I've got the book here. So I'm all set to have a peaceful reading experience on my brand new clean porch. And honestly, like, today is just the best. Like, all the spooky vibes, all the summer vibes, it's perfect. Officially about to be 9 o'clock. It's 8:55. I am really, really, really tired, but I did indeed finish What Lies in the Woods by Lindsay Curry, and I thought it was really, really cute. I kind of like the supernatural element in it, and I liked the approach to like how certain things were solved. I thought it was really, really sweet. I, for some reason, remained annoyed with the dad the whole time, but I really, really did enjoy it. And I thought that a lot of this was just so precious and cute. Now it's finally time to start reading things in the dark, and I actually think I kind of want to start by reading on my porch because I can put all the little lights on. I'm going to go ahead and go outside and read just a little bit of this in the dark with my cute little porch lights and then I'm probably going to take a shower and get into some comfortable pajamas. It's so interesting, like the lighting on this camera, because I don't even think it looks dark, but it's pretty dark. Okay, so let's put on the first one, which is like this lantern. Technically, I can also put that one on, but I don't know if I'll need it. So we've got this nice little lantern, and then we've got all of the fun lights. Oh my god, this is so cute! And it does kind of feel a little bit spooky. I don't know if you can hear, but like, we have frogs, and those frogs, I think they're frogs. I don't know, maybe it's a bird. It's making everything feel 10 times creepier. So we'll see how long I actually read out here for. Okay, a little update. I did move this closer because it is kind of harder to see. Despite how well lit it looks, it is really dark. However, now that I've moved the lantern, it is the perfect reading light. So let's start one by one. No, it's not one by one.
Okay, those frogs, like, we get it, sir. You can stop.
What is it about those frogs? It makes it creepier. The frogs need to stop. Maybe I should go inside.
Because you turn me on to my heart's desire. Now I'm dying to let you know what I feel is some kind of wonderful, some kind of magical woman. My love's for real. I need to show you right now. Take a look at me now.
Hello, friends. Okay, so it is day 2 and it is 5:17. So we've been going on now for just a little bit over 24 hours. And I wish that I could say that I've been reading a lot more today, but honestly, I've just been mostly working. However, now it is time to really pick up the speed and read a ton. So here's my update. Mostly I have been working today, but I have managed to read quite a bit of this Riley Sager book, The Only One Left. I'm really loving this so far. So the main perspective of this is from Kit, and I was not expecting Kit to have such an interesting backstory. This is a little bit different than I thought. I thought that this actually took place in a nursing home, but it does not. It actually takes place in Lenora's house or home that she grew up in, which I think adds to the creepy factor because Kit comes in to this house where all of these murders took place, and there's like descriptions of blood stains on the carpet, which, by the way, I understand preserving history, but if that were me, I would rip up the carpet. Like, I would be like, you know what, we don't need to see the blood stains. I don't understand why they've kept some of this stuff. But anyways, so Kit is now living in this spooky, creepy house where all of these murders took place. I don't think I could do it. I gotta be honest with you, I don't think I could live there. She lives there now and she's getting to know Lenora, and Lenora like jumps right in. She's like, I really trust you, girl, and I just need to tell you everything that happened. And it's really intriguing because we get just tiny little snippets from her perspective, and then we're left with all of these questions. It's very good. Like, Riley Sager is such an incredible thriller author, I think, because he does a great job at like really hyping up the intrigue and not giving away too much. I will say I don't trust Lenora. She just jumped way too quickly into like telling Kit that she wanted to be besties basically and tell her her whole life story. And I'm like, girl, you guys have known each other for like a day. This is moving pretty quick. So I don't know exactly what to think, but I don't really, it's either Kit that I don't trust or Lenora, but I think it's Lenora. I think Kit's fine, I guess. The plan is that I want something fun to eat, okay? It's a 48-hour readathon. I'm probably gonna watch something spooky tonight, maybe, or maybe I'll just read all night long, I don't know. And honestly, I want tres leches cake. My birthday's soon. Why not celebrate a day or 2 or 3 early? So I'm gonna order a tres leches cake, and I think I might get like guacamole or something. Doesn't that sound really good? And the plan is just to try to read this. And then I don't know what else I'm gonna pick up. I will catch up with you as soon as I get my tres leches cake, and we will continue being scared. Are you kidding me? Come on now. It might not be spooky, but it is a good time, okay? Okay, so it is officially 8:24. Also, I changed my background because I wanted it to be something more summery, and that looks so cute. Doesn't the little picnic look so cute? I did indeed finish The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I think I'm kind of still trying to figure out exactly like my thoughts for it. I think it's a really fun read. I think if you're looking for a summer thriller that's going to just be like really fun and entertaining, I would pick this up. I do feel like maybe 1 or 2 of the plot twists was just like a little bit hard to believe, but the thing is, it's supposed to be for fun. It's like entertainment, you know? 4 stars maybe? Okay, so it is 8:30 essentially. It's not dark, but it's gonna get dark soon. I think it might be kind of fun if at night I either read like 1 or 2 of these short stories, or if I tried reading Stephen King in the dark. That's it for my update right now. Bye. Hello, my friends. It is time for another update. So it is technically 10:44. Let me give you a little bit of an update. So I decided to start Her Body and Other Parties. I'm on page 91. So this particular book, Her Body and Other Parties, it's not just horror. It's a blend between fantasy, fabulism, comedy, science fiction, psychological realism, and horror. So I would say that it's not necessarily scary. The first story is called The Husband Stitch, and it's about a woman who has a green ribbon tied against her throat. The whole time I'm reading it, it's great because it has a lot of symbolism. I understand the metaphors. I thought it was really, really beautifully done. I will say that I feel like Carmen Maria Machado's writing is incredibly strong, but I will say sometimes I feel like her stories are experimental for the sake of being experimental and not necessarily because it suits the narrative or the tale, and it can be a little bit distracting. Now, I am really, really tired, but it's Summerween, and that means we have to read in the dark. I'm gonna try to be brave. I am gonna try to read a little bit of this in the dark. This is gonna count as my book that I'm reading in the dark, but I'm obviously not gonna be reading for a super, super long time because I'm really tired. Now, here's why this might not be a good idea. I live alone, okay? And I freak myself out very, very easily. Is it a good idea to read Stephen King fully pitch black in the dark with a flashlight while being home alone? Probably not, but we're gonna do it anyways. I have got my flashlight. Ooh, that's bright. I'm going to try to read a little bit of this tonight, fully in the dark, and we're gonna see how long I last. Let's read some Stephen King in the dark. Okay, so the very first thing that we have to turn off are my lovely fairy lights. This is dramatic. Next. All right, last one. Awesome. Okay, I can't even, you guys, this is stupid. Where's the flashlight? All right, here we go. I hate it. I hate it. Let me just tell you, I hate it. Oh my God, the flashlight just went off. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I fully hate this. I don't know how long I'm gonna be reading. With, oh, are you kidding? Why does it keep going off though? It's scary. The fact that my flashlight keeps going off is terrifying for me, but okay. I'm gonna go ahead and start reading Stephen King now so that I can turn on the lights because, oh no, oh, come on. It keeps going, like that's really scary. Is it not scary? The fact that this, why does the flashlight keep turning off? That makes it more scary. I need a different flashlight, whatever. Okay, here we go. Hi, a little bit of an update. So that was interesting. I would use the word fun, but I'm trying really hard to not lie. If you live alone, maybe don't read Stephen King in the dark by flashlight because I lasted about 10 pages. I'm gonna go to sleep. That was terrifying. I'll see you in the morning. Hello, spooky friends. Okay, so it is officially 1:09, which means that the vlog is coming to an end. Yes, the 48 hours are officially done, and I feel pretty good actually about what I accomplished. So I ended up not vlogging a lot today just because I really, really wanted to see if I could finish my entire TBR. And I will say that I got kind of close. So let me show you all of the books that I ended up reading, and then we'll kind of do a little bit of a brief wrap up. Okay, so my original TBR was to read What Lies in the Woods, Her Body and Other Parties, The Wretched Water Park, The Only One Left, and then You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. And then I realized that I had actually one of the prompts wrong, and I switched out this book for this book, The Body by Stephen King. Now, here's what happened this morning. So this morning, I decided to try reading as much as possible from The Wretched Water Park, and I ended up reading the entire book. This is a very short middle grade, and it was also really, really fast paced, so it was the perfect book, I think, for a 48-hour readathon. And then I had a little bit of a decision to make because I did not have a long time. So I could have actually read The Body by Stephen King, or I could have tried to finish Her Body. Oh my gosh, they both have body in them. them. Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. I ended up doing this one because last night I read 100 pages in and I was like, you know what? I might as well try to finish this book. And so I did, in fact, finish this book. I did not get very far in The Body by Stephen King. In fact, I think I only read about 7-ish pages last night in the dark, and then I stopped because I was a big chicken. So I guess my journey with Stephen King is just gonna have to be put on pause for right now because I really did not get far enough into this book to have any thoughts or feelings about it whatsoever. So I think I'm actually gonna save this possibly for a future vlog. But that means that I did in fact finish all 5 of my original books that I wanted to read for Summerween. So let's do a little bit of a wrap up. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put all of the books in ranking order, and then we can go from like least favorite all the way to most favorite. That's what we'll do. Okay. I think this is my ranking. So like, I guess we'll reverse it since we're going least favorite to most favorite. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with my least favorite, which was Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. This is a collection of short stories, and the short stories range from horror to fabulism, science fiction, post-apocalyptic, and every single story is feminist, and I think every single story is also queer. I really am sad that I didn't like this because I felt like the vibes of this were totally gonna be my thing. But that's totally fine. So let me go ahead and tell you all of my individual ratings for the stories. The first one I think was the strongest, 4-star. The next one, Inventory, was a 3-star, but it was a really solid 3-star. The rest I gave like 1 stars to. I just really did not enjoy this and I'm so sad about it. And if you loved this, I am so excited for you because I don't think that this was a bad collection. I just don't think that this collection was for me. I just don't think that I was really vibing with Carmen Maria Machado's style or her storytelling necessarily. Like the plots of these, I just wasn't as interested in. I looked up reviews for this because I was trying to figure out exactly why I wasn't connecting to this. And I love that these are all feminist tales. And I also can really appreciate the artistry of using women's bodies as kind of like a landscape for horror and like showing some of the horrific things that happen. The strongest tale in this was the first one. A little bit of like some spoilers for the short story collection, although it is a retelling of a very famous legend. But the first one I thought was really powerful because it was about a woman who gave everything to this man that she loved. She gave her body, she told her darkest secrets, her darkest desires. Nothing was left from him. And the one thing that she wanted to keep was she did not want him to touch the ribbon around her neck. And then finally, he just wasn't satisfied with everything else that she had given him. So she finally relented and she let him touch the ribbon and then, you know, she dies. And he's just horrified by this because that's not necessarily what he's expecting to happen. But the symbolism and the metaphor in that one I thought was really, really strong and I loved it. However, tonally, I was kind of disappointed because in this entire group of feminist short stories, I really didn't feel like a single one felt empowering at all. And one of the things that I love about being a feminist is that I feel like feminism is actually very empowering. I really appreciated what this collection was doing. It was showing a lot of the horrors that women have to go through. And I feel like a lot of the stories were really worth telling, but I feel like they would have just been balanced out as a whole a little bit more if we had had 1 or 2 horror stories in here that kind of had the woman not being fully totally screwed over. And then also a common thing that I saw when I was looking up Goodreads reviews, which I really, really agree with, is that there was a lot of sex in this text, which doesn't bother me. Like I read lots of books with sex in them, lots of graphic sex too. A lot of like romance reads that I read or contemporary, things like that. I don't have a problem with that at all. But I feel like a lot of what was in here just didn't feel necessary. It felt like what should be empowering, but really wasn't. Like it wasn't sexy. It didn't really like further any of the plots really, in my opinion. The only one where I thought like it totally made sense was the second one, which was Inventory, which is where the main protagonist is like doing an inventory of all of the people she's ever slept with in her life. And you kind of understand why towards the end. I thought that that was really cool. And like metaphorically, I thought that that had a lot of like purpose purpose and drive, but a lot of this was just odd. It felt like the sex in here and the sex scenes were supposed to be empowering, but they just felt very disjointed to me and almost took me out of the story. And then also a lot of the styles of these like just did not work out. For example, in especially Heinous, the entire thing, they're just little tiny, like not even paragraphs of summaries for a Law and Order show. And like, I don't think it made sense. I don't really think that it went together, and it was so boring. Like, it was so tedious. I just didn't really get it. I didn't get any of the messages. I don't really actually think there was a message in that one. I thought it was experimental for the sake of being experimental, and I just really did not enjoy it or get anything out of it. And I feel bad. I feel so bad because like I don't want to discourage you from picking this up. I think if you were looking for a collection of short stories that are feminist, that are experimental, I mean, please pick it up. Please pick it up. Just because it didn't work for me does not mean it's not going to work for you. I personally actually preferred Kate Folk's version of her short story collection, which I read earlier. I think it's called Out There. That one I felt like I connected to personally a lot more, and those were also feminist, and they were post-apocalyptic, a little bit sci-fi, a little bit fabulism. So I personally love the themes of this. I just did not connect to the storyline / plot, and I thought that the experimentation sometimes just took me out of the story a little bit. Next up, I read Wretched Water Park by Kirsten White. This is a middle grade, and it's really focusing on two siblings who are twins, Theo and Alexander, and they also have a big sister, Will, and all of them are dropped off for the summer at their aunt's, and their aunt takes them every single day to this wretched water park. But the water park is very different. There are velvet chairs instead of regular chairs. There's a high tea instead of like a churro bar. Like, nothing is what they think it's going to be. And while they are there, there's this weird kind of mystery that surfaces. I feel like this is a really fun read if you are a person who is maybe looking to recommend a book for a middle grader. So somebody who's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I think that they would really enjoy how silly the writing is and how silly the story is. I thought that there was a lot of really fun aspects to this. I love that this entire thing takes place at a water park. I thought it was really fun to have a little bit of a mystery. I will say that I feel like this is going to be geared a little bit more towards a younger middle grade audience. I feel like 8, 9, 10 possibly is like the perfect age range for this. It's very silly, and it's very lighthearted. And parts of the aspects of the mystery, I think, are solved pretty quickly and things like that. But I enjoyed it, and I thought it was a great book for Summerween. Next up is another middle grade, What Lives in the Woods by Lindsay Curry. This one I thought was so well done. Super spooky. Really enjoyed it a lot. Ginny and her brother Leo go to this creepy haunted mansion where her dad is trying to make some suggestions for how he wants to restore it for the local historic society, I believe. And the place that they're staying, it's like a mansion, but it's also a museum. And it turns out that it may or may not be haunted. I really loved Ginny and her dynamic with Will in here, who's like a little bit of a friend, but also a crush. I thought that was super cute. I liked the spooky elements in here. I liked the ending. I thought it wrapped up really cute and really nice. I think it's like a great book if you're looking for something that's a little bit spooky, but takes place in the summertime. A solid read. Next up, I finally read Riley Sager's The Only One Left. This particular book had a lot of twists and turns, but I actually really enjoyed it. I feel like sometimes with thrillers, it's nice to have those books that really don't take themselves too seriously. I don't think this is taking itself too seriously. I think this is just a fun thriller. If you were looking for something with lots and lots of twists and turns, if you're looking for a thriller that has a lot of fun layers and mystery and intrigue and goes in directions that I don't think anybody is really gonna see, I think you should pick this up. Now, were some of the twists and turns at the end a little bit unbelievable? Maybe, possibly, but I did really enjoy it. I thought it was kind of fun, and it was a great book to pick up for Summerween. So if you're looking for a spooky thriller that, again, is just gonna have a lot of twists and turns, like a lot, especially at the end. Pick this up. I thought it was really intriguing and fun, and I actually really enjoyed the storytelling. And then finally, I think my very favorite read from the entire Summerween 48-hour readathon was You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaitlyn Bayron. The book itself is so fast-paced and so spooky, and then you read the ending and you kind of want to throw the book at the wall because you're like, that's how it ends. And then you read the epilogue and you're like, oh my God, that's how it ends. So if you pick up this book, you have to read the epilogue. I know some people skip it. Don't skip it. It makes the book, in my opinion. It is so good. This was a very, very solid 5-star for me. It was fun. It was twisty. It was scary. It was definitely the scariest book that I've read from the entire stack. Like, I don't really think I read a lot of scary books actually, but I thought that this one was actually a little bit spooky. And I loved everything about it. I especially loved the ending. I just thought it was really good. And I think, you guys, that's it. Those are all of the books that I read for Summerween. I had so much fun. Let this be a sign. If you ever see a readathon that you want to participate in, but you can't participate in it, just make it work for you, you know, because I love reading thrillers in the summertime. This is my favorite readathon ever, and I really, really, really wanted to make it work. And I feel so good that I actually got to spend a couple of days just reading spooky thrillers. It's honestly been the highlight of my summer. Thank you again so much to Gabby and Liv for creating this readathon. All of their information will be down below, as well as a big thank you to Allie from Allison Pages for coming up with doing this in 24 hours. I loved her take on Summerween, and I will leave her channel down below as well. A huge thank you to all of my Patreons over at Fox and Wood. If you're looking for more ways to support me, I highly recommend checking out my Patreon. I'm very, very proud of it. And a big, big thank you especially to my Ink and Quill Club members. All of your names will be down below in the description of this video. And if you have made it to this part of the video, leave me a red heart. And I think that's it for now, you guys. So until next time, book lovers, keep your head in the clouds and your heart in a book. And I will talk to you very soon. Bye!
Always think of you when spring comes, like it's something in the air at that time. Don't know why. Always dream of you when spring comes. It's like the heat on my skin takes me back to the time met you on